Happy Friday. Nice and early as we like it. Also, happy World Peace Day. So, I have been asked to talk to you about my story today. My story, as obviously your stories, is unique. We're all beautiful as we are, and we are exactly right there where we need to be. So, let me start today with a story of a girl. She was 17 when she joined the military. She was very shy, a little bit of driven, a little bit of a sassy girl, waiting for a bus at a station with her father on a very crispy, sunny day. The bus arrived, the first steps she took into the bus. She knew that little girl she was, the girl that just gave a kiss to her father, was no longer there. That step she was about to take would change her life forever. So she went into the bus, and fair enough, there came the first person, a military person, very intimidating, a strong, tall young man, saying, "You're here today?" "Yes, I am, sir." "Okay, come on in." The door closes. What was that girl thinking? Is it the right move? Am I ready? What is gonna happen? I'm not ready. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. So as the weeks passed, with no sleep, that little girl tried to settle in as good as she can. She was there with her twin brother, which for him was not always a blessing, obviously, trying to pull her through the endurance of not sleeping, bleeding feet, and all of the other beautiful things that the military brings. And so there was the first day on the terrain, the first day with her Susie, her gun. That's how she decided she would call it. Because as her supervisor said, this gun will be your best friend, will be your biggest enemy, and will stay with you until you leave again. So she called her Susie. So as Susie was really excited, and the little girl, she was also very excited, Susie gave off a shot. Of course, it was a blind munition shot, but it was a shot. Complete silence. No one really knew what was happening. And of course, the supervisor said, "Who was that?" Little girl totally shocked. No one would say anything. Of course, the little girl's twin brother said, "It was you. You need to say something. Otherwise, we're all gonna suffer." Okay. The little girl raised her hand. "Sir, it was me." "Oh, 850103. Okay. You take your twin brother, drag him over the field, and dig him a hole, because he has just died." Okay, sir, I will do that. Of course, that was the time where everyone went to bed. And that little girl knew she was not sleeping that night. So fair enough, she pulled her twin brother, who obviously tried to be as heavy as possible, into the hole, digged him a hole, and in the early morning sunrises, the gun, Susie she thought it was again a day where she needed to make some noise. The second shot went off. Because obviously the little girl was tired and she was walking with the gun and it was really heavy. And there was the twin brother again. He had died again. So the second hole needed to be digged. These are stories which are told until today. So then, what happened to that little girl? Well, that little girl went on to be deployed as the only woman of her draft at the age of 18, the first time away from her parents. That little girl went on to work with the UN, become a representative for young women and adolescent girls for HIV/AIDS specifically. And that little girl went on to become a speaker for sexual violence in conflict, because she herself had 2 attempts of sexual violence and knew how she could defend herself. But millions of other women do not have that chance. So that little girl was me, in the middle. Calimero. I don't know who knows Calimero, but they call me Calimero because my helmet was always too big. And when I was running, it would go in my eyes. And it was so frustrating to hear your supervisor saying, Calimero, come here. Yes, yes. So, and my twin brother is there, a legend, because he suffered a lot during the time with me in the military, making sure that I get through it. So that was the story, the beginning of my adult story. I was deployed, there I was working with the UN, and of course, I think every story has people around you, people you inspire, people you get inspired from, your own tribes. I won't go into too much detail about the tribes because obviously yesterday you had the full-on version about tribes do the really good work of Kodak. So yeah, that was my tribe, and it still remains until today.